What's up, guys and gals? Back to the grind, I guess. Thanks again for all the helpful comments, and hopefully you'll enjoy this video as well. Where did I leave off? Oh yeah, I was about to talk about the new navigator, Futaba, and I know all of y'all are losing your minds about her. Before I start on her analysis, I'm reminded of my outdated video where I was surprised that a redheaded chick hasn't been displayed yet, and now that she's here, I can't stop geeking out. She seems to be some sort of otaku and be related to the Pyramid Dungeon. I know what you're saying, but we didn't see her in the last trailer in the pyramid scene. Well, would it help to say that her persona is a UFO that she can actively ride in? Her outfit seems to be cyberpunk, and her navigator skills seem to be inherent as a support character. She can buff the team from her position above the battle. So it's not like the past personas where the navigator would hang out outside the dungeon. No, now the navigator is actively involved, whether it's Morgana or Futaba. How these buffs will occur is still a mystery though. Maybe she has a gauge that can grant one buff every time it fills, or in the same sense after enough turns in battle have occurred. That would be amazing for boss battles. Also, I gotta mention that with the otaku kind of thing, the UFO, the dungeon she starts in is a pyramid. Is it just me, or does she seem like a conspiracy theorist? But anyways, moving on. After the battle, we get a buffet of details from Futaba's persona screen. The persona being named Necronomicon and belonging to the Hermit Arcana, we can see a myriad of info. Firstly, I would like to point out the different element types. 2 physical damage types, melee and firearm. Then the standard elemental types, no surprise there. Hama and Mudo on the right, and then Megiddo/nuclear with an unknown element to the side of it. Now I have to say, it has been rumored that the gravity type damage would make a return, and this is some strong evidence. I'm a little bummed that water and earth are not on this display, but hey, at least we finally know. Other details from this screen are aesthetic and show more details than the level up or stat screens from the past. A beautiful design detail. Thank you, Persona Studios. Next we move on to a simplified image of a cell phone. It has a map function on it detailing an area has opened up. Fosizzle chimed in this morning stating that the dungeon we used to call the Palace Dungeon has been identified. It is now named Kamishoda's Castle, so we may finally have the name of our first boss, Kamishoda. Also, Fosizzle pointed out that earlier in the trailer that a teacher said, if you cause any trouble, I can have you expelled. Likely, Kamishoda may be this voice. Then we can consider that this map may be linked to the Midnight app. So many possibilities. Anyways, back to the picture at hand. This seems to be the new way of traversal around the real world. New unlocked areas pop up as notifications, and traveling to new places won't be so mysterious as in Persona 3 and 4, because in those games, you had to find out what a real world's area was important for, and this can greatly reduce unneeded exploration time, and this may be the fast travel system. Then the main character explores around Shinjuku for the first time, a sort of entertainment district. After that, we see 2 of the jobs the main character can apply for, a barkeep and a fast food worker. In Persona 4, the jobs outside of the house usually had a social link connected to them. While I didn't see anyone stick out in the fast food job, in the barkeep job, this woman may be the social link. I mean, why give her blue hair if she isn't important in some way? I know it doesn't look like life's treated her well, but come on, blue hair? The next scene redisplays the casino dungeon. For now, the casino dungeon seems late game, but that's evident in a later cutscene even more. After the casino, we see a new boss. He's the boss of the bank/church dungeon, and thanks to a commenter long ago, he seems to be transforming into Beelzebub, the Lord of the Flies, and also known as Lord of the High Place. Sorry, I can't find your comment for some reason, but you know who you are and thank you. I will try to find it for a later video. With the Boss of Greed finally making an appearance, that just leaves Sloth, Gluttony, and Wrath. The Space Dungeon hasn't been attributed one sin yet, so it is either Wrath or Sloth in my mind. Next we see the Student Council President ram some enemies with her Persona motorcycle, which further gives proof to her being more of a physical damage type character. Also, this is the dungeon attributed with the Student Council President. This is before the Pyramid Dungeon, so that means the Navigator is the 7th party member instead of the 6th, like we were expecting. Okay, moving on. In this next cool scene, we actually see the second part of the fight results, which seem to show what items you got from the fight with potentially addictive sounds attributed to them. This scene is short, however, and moves on to the space dungeon and how puzzles and floor progression will work inside of it. A nice detail, I hope to see more of it. Within the space dungeon, it looks like we're introduced to the newest member of the team. Let me just say, when I suggested a French theme in the mystery brunette video, I didn't expect them to do this, but I'm happy they did. She seems to wear an outfit of a musketeer or a French highwayman. The highwayman example is then furthered by the fact that her weapons are hand cannons and axes, weapons used by the bandits of that time period to rob stagecoaches. However, some have said that her firearm actually looks like a grenade launcher, and Atlas didn't put in the explosion to hide that fact. Her persona hasn't been displayed yet, but my guess is Milady de Winter from the Three Musketeers books. It seems too obvious, or there's still a chance that the persona could be Irene Adler. After that, we see her sweet special move that almost goes a little too French. I mean, check out all this badassness that occurs within seconds. But we have to move on. In this next scene, we see some of the funnier sides of the game, where Ryuji pops a boner when looking at Futaba. Her face is wrapped, suggesting shyness or a prank by her or others, but I can promise you that all the waifu for Lifu players just cream their pants. The last cutscene that will round out this video is the calendar transition, where it suggests May 16th is a deadline for something. Maybe to finish a heist or defeat a boss. Well, they're practically the same thing. If not, a bad ending will probably occur. In the bottom there is a progression gauge that fills up as you work on a heist. It's great to see that there, as procrastination in Persona games are usually a death sentence. That's it for part 3, guys. I'm going to try to get the last video out either tonight or tomorrow, as so much info has been coming out alongside this trailer. I might literally go insane. Remember, if you want me to reply to your comment, put red at the start of it, and I'll get back to you. Again, I cannot think of a closer, so...
Goodbye.